Welcome to Verbal Mirrors Reflecting Understanding podcast, where the power of words becomes a bridge between worlds. In this podcast, we embark on a dynamic exploration of the human experience, weaving a tapestry of diverse voices, stories, and perspectives. I am your host, Lavinia Richards. Join us on a journey that transcends boundaries, fostering connection, empathy, and a deeper understanding of the rich mosaic that defines us all. Get ready to reflect, resonate, and embark on a transformative odyssey through the art of conversation. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to Two Cancers, One Truth. Come on up, Dad. I am your host, Lavinia Richards, and
I'm Levi Richards Jr.
yeah, that's Pops right there. Listen, we back with another amazing show, y'all. We want to say welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Two Cancers, One Truth. 20 years apart, getting a male perspective, getting a female perspective, getting an older generation, a younger generation, but we always come up with one truth, right? So today we're going to be talking about why do people stay in bad relationships? I think this gonna be good because I've stayed in them. I'm sure, Daddy, you done stayed in them, and people really want to know just how to navigate that. So that is the question. My thing is, I think that some people stay because pain looks familiar. I think that's what it was for me. I think we get into a space and a place of, pain looking familiar. So I want to start with you. I want to, get some of your perspectives about why you feel like people, male or female, stay in these bad relationships.
Interesting. There are many reasons, not just one or two, why people tend to do that. Fear of being alone. Um, Starting over kind of situation. Um, you know, and basically, some people, I don't really think I'm among them, but I have associations and people that I've dealt with throughout my years of living.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just afraid of loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
It's familiar to have this or that person around, or whatever it is. Um, and sometimes it could be emotional attachment to a situation or a person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and uh, One of the worst things I've heard over my life is that people want to keep the family together to try to stay for the kids and these type of things. And, and the thing I dislike about that is, you know, um, the emotional scars that it does to children, you know, the trauma created for them because of sometimes the violence and the drinking and the screaming and the hollering at each other if there's no discipline. Uh, Fractures the family instead of bringing the family closer together. So uh, that's a few reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that uh, we need help. We need help in making these decisions. We need a place to discover how can we change some of these things. Why is it that we tend to make up in our minds that I'm afraid of being alone, or I'm not going to be able to make it by myself financially because our two salaries together meet the bills, blah blah blah. Any excuse to stay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Emotional attachments, hoping sometimes ridiculously that eventually the other person's going to change.
Get that part. Now that's the part right there. Um, I would add to that a lot of trauma bonding. I think for me, and a lot of people have heard my story, but just for me coming up the way I did, watching, my mom go through domestic violence and stuff, you tell yourself a lot of things, but the subconscious usually does what it sees. And so, watching that, I would meet men and it's like, oh, your mama got lupus, my mama got lupus too. Oh, this happened in your family. I'm abandoned too. You know what I mean? That type of energy when I'm talking about that trauma bonding, and we mistake that for love because we're both meeting in a broken space and place. And so now we want to give it a title of, love, and we're going to stay in this relationship and we're going to fight because, we both been through something, when in all actuality, we're trauma bonding. We're taking the pain that we've had from what we know, and we think that that's love because that's the only place that we can recognize in that state.
Yeah, yeah. I can identify with that quite a bit. And fixations that people get in their head about relationships, from what they experienced as trauma in their childhood. I mean, things they went through with parents. I mean, I've seen and heard a lot. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know. It comes up like this: watching a certain situation growing up with your parents, etc. And then you grow up and you get out on your own and start your own thing, doing what you're doing, and wait, and all of a sudden, you have a woman has a man who beats her continuously. And her mindset is of such that she says she figured because what she witnessed, what she saw, right? Uh, that if he don't beat me, he don't love me.
Hmm.
Does that make sense? I mean, but
Yeah.
people do this. I mean, they create these things to stay in traumatizing situations, man. That it's nonsensical. I mean, if you love me, why you beating me? Why you slapping
Yeah,
me around? You
exactly.
know, I mean, if you if you got a woman on the side or two or three, and you need me to be miserable before you leave home so you can hang out and you make sure I'm messed up, toe up on the
So you can go
floor,
do your dirt.
you
Yeah.
go do your dirt, right? But you got me all discombobulated. I'm confused. I'm wondering what the hell did I do wrong? Why is he treating me like this? And I love him so much, man. These things happen. I mean, people stay for a variety of reasons that make no
Mhm.
sense to me.
I think that it also deals with, and I can definitely attest to this, loving someone's potential instead of their reality. You can be so in love with what you think a person could be. And this is very fresh for me because you can see, or let me say this, you can see what a person allows you to see, right? And so you create this idea of what this person could be. You see this potential, you see, and usually, I don't know if men do this, but women especially, we love to romanticize, so, oh, he's gonna be my knight in shining armor, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna be a power couple, and we have all these ideas, right? But it's just that it's not the reality. It's more, what is he showing you? He's not showing you that he gonna be that. He don't even call you. You know what I mean? So it's just like falling in love with that potential instead of the reality of, this ninja ain't doing shit for you. This person, she ghosting you at every second. He ain't seen you in 2 weeks, girl. Instead of getting that, we idealize and we fantasize, like, but he's a good person. His family grew up in the church, and I know his mama, or just whatever it is. We, like you said, we create these narratives that are crazy to be abused, to stay in these Bad relationships.
Okay, I mean, I buy into that 1,000%. Um, what I take offense to as a Cancerian man, I'm gonna let you know up front how I am.
Period.
I'm gonna make it clear my taste buds, my desires. There will be no gray areas, right?
That's a Cancer. That's how we roll.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't leave gray areas because this is a commitment about my life if I'm going to be with you, right?
Right.
So I need you to know me. So I'm going to reveal myself to you, right?
Mhm.
And let's keep it real. So, I'm a sensual, sexual person, romantic type person.
Mhm.
And you can't be with me saying to yourself that he's going to change. You can't be with me and hoping that I will grow out of who the hell I am. How in the hell can I grow out of being me?
Right. I'm who I
You,
am.
I'm just saying, if I like to kiss, if I like to hold hands, if I like to snuggle, if I'd like to, you know, blow in your ear and rub your neck and give you a massage, I mean, that's just who I am.
Right.
But if I'm too much, then
Go
let's
find
get.
less.
So it's like the cancer is like I mean, biblical proportions. I'm not casting my pearls to swine.
Yeah.
And it tends to get me in a position that, you know, I know it's not all about me, right? But I think that the candor is if I reveal to you who I am, I'm not going to ever show you less than what I am until you give me enough rejection that I can't be received and have you know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
can't be, what did you talk about, safe with you?
Yeah. Safe space. I need that safe space with you.
If I can't reveal who I am and talk to you and you're going to hit your override button, that communication is poor to me.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to self worth, and especially like for Cancerians, because we are already emotional beings rolling with the tide, and we try to, people think we're moody. We are, but I think we're mirrors more than anything, because a Cancer is going to reflect back to you what you give to a Cancer, right? So I think with us though, we love so hard. And again, I love hearing the male aspect because it's not all that mushy. Women are so emotional. We tap into that feminine energy so much that sometimes that's how we get screwed over in these toxic relationships too and stay, because we don't know our value or our self-worth, or we let our so-called love for the person, we let the manipulation go too long. But as a Cancer, one thing about a Cancer is we gonna call bullshit.
Hmm.
We gonna call it. We just
Good.
have to. It vexes our spirit not to say what's on our mind. So I totally agree with you. But as far as us speaking our mind, because I've been very transparent with people, but then I've also seen that there are people that are just so broken, they don't know what to do with truth. They're so hurt and they're so messed up, and so they try to bring you to a mental state of where they are because they don't know how to find that peace or that happiness. So as a Cancer, with our healing nature, we want to heal sometimes in these relationships, and I have found myself before losing myself as a result of that, because I love the idea of what we could be versus what I was receiving, because of my heart and my loving nature and my healing nature and my hopeless romantic nature. So I'm just kind of throwing the zodiac sign in there too, because we have a certain characteristic. You led with, I love love. I do this, I do this. This is what I like. I'm a very highly sexual person. I'm older. I know what I like. I'm in my 50s. You know what I'm saying? I'm more relaxed and comfortable with who I am. So I agree. If you know that this is not what you want, or this is something, or you know that relationship is not feeding your soul, then just leave.
Yeah. And, and you know, and love is about intimacy, right?
Right.
And for us, because I think we're on the same page, you know, daughter and father, literally there are only so many people we're gonna share ourselves with, right?
Mhm.
Our bodies. So when my philosophy, maybe it's training, maybe something dad said, I don't know. Uh, when a woman gives you her body, she's basically giving you all she's got.
Mhm.
That's a tangible. Something you can touch. That's something you can feel. If she goes there with you, right? Uh, you've gotten her. You know, that's a soul connection. So but the flip of that is, in my lifetime, it's never been about notches in my belt, about how many women I could have, you know, how many notches I can get in my belt. It's never been that issue. I mean, back to that self-worth thing. I am not a common man. I like what I
Mhm.
like, but it ain't for everybody. And then a lot of the ones I found out in my lifetime, a lot of the ones I thought were worth it, a lot of the ones I thought were worth it, uh, turned out to be a terrible waste of time.
Ooh, child.
You,
Child. Child.
so, but because we're such diehard romantic, see, we, I went to Acapulco one year after some trauma in my life and hung out on the beach a lot. And there was a gypsy, and she was doing cards. And I need, you know, I'm by the water, I'm looking for my element. And, and they said to me very plainly, I wrote down all her messages back then. She said, you in love with love. You're not in love with nobody.
Mm.
I mean, the idea of love, I mean, you're in love with love. I mean, that's who we are.
Yeah.
That's who I am. You know, I am in love with love. As I matured and developed, my values have always been what they've been. At this point in time in my life, I developed the skills, the ability on a higher level of awareness about myself and my alignment. What's for me is for me, and I have the ability to be anxious for nothing. So if there's this period, I don't call it a dry spell, I call it a wait and see spell, because you know, it's like for me, it's like what do you call it? A fashion show.
Right.
They walking across the runway, and I might see a particular smile, and I just say hi, you know, because I'm not locked down. I'm free. Hey, how you doing? You know, and Cass's being private for me, like where I am, if it's too many other women around, I have to put a pin in that. So, oh God, where you come from? But I can't say it publicly because the others are looking. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
But but it's a different space because once again, as we were talking last week, you say, you know, soon 54 years old. I mean, that's 54 years of living, man. And
Yeah.
you know what you know, and it comes up different for you now than it did during those years.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And the same for your dad. I mean, but I ain't never been afraid to love, man. You know, whatever's gonna be, I'm gonna get wounded, I'm gonna get hurt, my heart is gonna be broken, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna boo-hoo, it's gonna be like chlorine been poured. You know, it's a private
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
But I ain't scared.
Yeah.
So right
That's
now, though, but
cancers.
that, huh?
So that's us. That's cancers.
But that confidence level of being in love with yourself, and I'm
Mm,
not talking about obsessive love, but just having enough to talk about what you were saying earlier, knowing your self-worth.
mm,
Uh, we've experienced all of those things aforementioned in the opening of the conversation today. We felt like we were in those places that we need to get the hell out of. What the hell am I doing here, man? What's this about? Why am I taking this stuff from this man or this woman? Why am I allowing myself to go through this experience? Right?
right.
But over here, it looks a whole lot different.
It's a, baby, it's shit now. It's a freedom. Now, it's a freedom. And it looks like so much peace, you
Yeah, yeah,
know. Um, it's unmatched peace. To know that, I love love and I am very open to love. I am very open to the hand holding and walking the beaches and watching the sunset and the moon, whatever that is, because what I'm seeking is seeking me. And so even though I've been hurt repeatedly, um I don't hold that because those were all lessons to get me here. You know what I'm saying? They were all the lessons that I needed to value myself more. And so that's why it's easier for me to walk away now, because once you go through that and you start getting that self-worth, that self-value, that self-appreciation, yeah, you're gonna still love, like you just said. You can't, there are no guarantees. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be. There's no books to this. You just live life trusting that there is something amazing waiting for you, right? But just knowing that I don't have to be subjected to the lying, the cheating, the, backstabbing, the manipulations in the relationships. Yeah, I love love, but I don't have to sacrifice myself for it no more. And that feels really amazing to me. Like that trumps any hurt that I've experienced in love. And I don't regret loving anybody, right? When I'm shitty, I do, right? But when in retrospect and in hindsight, looking at how I've evolved and to be in this space and place, it was all well worth it because it made me be able to stand up for myself now in this journey and say, hey, you got me fucked up,
yeah,
right? You
yeah,
know,
like that, exactly like that, exactly like that. And the thing I like to ask you about, because I talk about women being in touch with their feminine side, and I told you being Cancerian as a male, I definitely am in touch. So when I say that, I'm talking. The reason I brought that up is because I'm just wondering how is it that we go against intuition? Because intuition is an amazing tool in our lives. Wait for it. Babies have it, right?
mm,
Infants have it.
mm-hmm.
And when you bring certain people around your baby, I don't care what that person does to get to them and to hold them, it ain't gonna happen. They
That
guts
baby
it.
ain't moving. Get away.
And you want to know why? I don't know why they acting like that. You know
Because they
why?
feel your spirits.
And the mother or the father knows why. There's something in your spirit ain't right. So if we were birthed with this. My question is, why is it that we don't follow our intuition? Why is it we don't follow our intuition? Why don't we follow our gut? Why do we stay and continue to self-sabotage? What
Because
is
of,
it?
I think it's because of conditioning. I
Yeah,
think
okay.
we've because the gut always, even if it's gonna hurt, the gut is going to lead you. Following that most times is gonna lead you to that hardcore truth that you need. And I honestly believe that we don't want to see the truth in those moments. So we wanted to be what we wanted to be because we know that because the gut or the intuition is spirit. So when spirit comes in, right, we know spirit is coming in not to harm us, but to help us. But because spirit is choosing what is best for us, we don't like it. We don't want to listen to that. We know that when Bruce didn't reach out to us a month ago and left us on read and then follow up the next month, we knew 9 times out of 10 Bruce had a girlfriend back then. But we don't want to see it, so we'll say, I didn't have no proof. But your intuition was your proof. And then when you find out Bruce been dating somebody, it's like, damn, right? Because I think we want to see what we want to see. The intuition is there, but we allow the deceptions and going back to what I said, the illusions that we've created for people. I don't want to listen to my intuition because then I may not talk to him no more. He might not come back if I know. But if we listen, we can hear, we can see, and sometimes listening to our intuition makes us have to face our own truth. In my
Yeah.
opinion, what are your thoughts?
No, no, no. I'm following you. I'm following you. I mean, I get it. But it's that how long are we gonna beat a dead horse?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, how much? I mean, every day is precious, and believe me now, some relationships are worth their salt. God said. I mean, Jesus said in His Word. He said, y'all leave because of the hardness of your heart. Y'all ain't willing to
Mhm.
go through nothing. No, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. But
Right.
forgiveness is earned, man. But you can't keep
It
doing the
is.
same thing to me and expect me to take your abuse, man. That's a
Agree.
lot. Huh?
That's that's
It's not.
insanity.
Huh?
Insanity.
Yeah, and I know it's not gonna happen. But some relationship, because there are no perfect people, there are no perfect days. But it ain't working if it's broke. If it's broken, you can't pick them pieces up. If my face is disfigured, if I got scars and bruises, if I'm drunk all the time, if I'm taking drugs to deal with you, I got to do something, get on another level. I got to disguise myself. I can't be real with you. It's toxic. I'm in the wrong spot, the wrong place. And I don't believe in abusing myself, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
man, it makes no sense.
but it happens
I'm
more
a witness. I've lived
more
it.
more frequent. Yeah, more frequent than yeah. Yeah, you are my child. I know, and it's rough when those things happen, and what comes up after that, be ready for the explosion, because there's a mixed bag of emotions. Everything happens during that period, but that's the healing process. And
Right.
we're not trying to run from our healing. It's just
No.
sometimes, why come I can find this shit out earlier? Why am I staying in this madness when it was like that? And sometimes, you gather enough files, enough information. I mean, ultimately, for me, I eventually do what I'm supposed to do.
Absolutely.
There have been times it's taken me a little longer, but to arrive at this space is trial and error and a result of actually engaging in relationships to discover who I am. And I expose
Mhm.
myself to all kinds of situations, all kinds of people, never been scared, and can discover more readily now than I used to. Does it have potential? Are you worth my time?
Right.
Really? I mean, really,
No, absolutely.
we got to go there because we ain't going back down them other streets. We not jumping the same hurdles we used to jump. We're
It's
not going through
insanity.
hoops and whatever unless from that side of the table, what's coming over here equals what I'm putting on your side.
Reciprocity.
You talked about it. This is
Reciprocity.
the space of the inner peace, the happiness, the joy, the abundance, all these sacrifices to get over here now, when I come forth, I'm going to come forth as pure gold. Please be patient with me. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I'm at a point that I believe the word, and I'm looking for my latter days to be better than my former
Than my
days. And
former.
but wait for it. Same thing. The Cancerian, for the most part, can't say all are the same. Because I talk to some Cancerians to get lonely. I just don't know what that is. But we
Don't
can
be.
do what we got to do in our own house. We can create the environment and the setting until it comes up. We can enjoy ourselves. We are the life of the party if we want to party. If we want to giggle, we know how to do that. We just have to find real circle of people who actually get us.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a journey, man. And
It
we got
is.
over here and we doing this, and it's different because of what we allowed ourselves to experience, how we had to grow from understanding I really can make it without you.
I really can.
No, I'll really be okay.
I I promise you I'm gonna be just fine.
And, I really don't need your paycheck to make it through the month.
I really don't need you.
You
Don't
know,
need you. You
got to
know
wrap
what I'm
this up, man. You're
saying?
getting deep. You're getting deep. You got to wrap this up.
Man.
You better listen, man. I really don't. And see, that message has already been printed in my head. Can't you see it? Don't you get it? Don't you? It's on my forehead. I really don't need you. It's the stuff
So
right there. Did you get that?
this is a
Somebody,
blessing I let you in my life. This is a
and
blessing.
wait,
I don't
wait,
need you.
and then for somebody to tell us, you love me. You
Yeah.
know you can't live without me. You know you need me in your life.
Okay. Okay. I bet you I show you better than I can tell you.
Listen, I missed the memo.
I didn't get it. When was this meeting held for this
Yes, indeed.
nonsense?
Yeah. My secretary didn't even
Yes.
let me know that happened.
No one, because they knew better. They knew not to come and tell me that shit.
Wow. Wow.
Because at the
Wow.
end of the day, just getting back to really, what we were talking about, why do people stay in toxic relationships? It's for a plethora of things. And we're finding out it's because, lack of self-respect, lack of self-worth, abandonment issues, codependency issues. The moral of the story is we wanted to have this conversation so that you can understand you don't gotta stay. If you kept hearing my dad speak about, now that we're over here, no, we're not perfect. We're not saying that we don't go through anything or haven't had hard times in love. The point is, once you go through those hard times, what are you learning? What have you learned? Did you evolve? Are you still staying? Don't stay in anything that's not giving you anything back. If it's leaving you dead inside, if it's leaving you empty inside, if it's leaving you broken, if there's no reciprocity, if you don't feel valued, and so on. I can do this forever. The moral of the story is if it don't fit, don't force it. You never have to stay in anything toxic. Love should not feel like survival of the fittest. It should not feel like you're scraping and scratching for your lives. Love should be kind. It should be reciprocal, right? It should be enjoyable. It should be something that you want to do, not despise talking about, oh, I can't stand this mother so and so. You laying next to, you sleeping with the enemy
Mm,
because they got the check that covers what you need. And so you stand, but you cheating on her or him because
right.
it's not what you want,
Right.
right? So just putting that point out there, I want the guests to really just ask yourself, I want to say, like I said, love should never feel like it's required a self destruction for yourself. But I want you to ask yourself, when have you ever, this is to the audience, ask yourself, are you staying too long? Have you stayed too long? And is it time for you to get out? And if so, what do you need to do to make that happen so that you can have a better quality of life and so that you can get to the real love and real happiness that you don't have to be in the trauma bond love? Daddy, I'm going to let you go ahead on and close us out, and then I'm going to play our music to get us on off of here. But Let us
Listen,
know what you got to say.
um, the most precious commodity we have is time. And time is precious and it's short. And 1 second in a bad relationship longer than you should be in is too much of your time.
That'll preach right there.
You understand? Time is precious and valuable, and we cannot put off until tomorrow, next week, next month, because nobody has any guarantees about time. I want to enjoy the rest of my life. I want peace and tranquility with or without you. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's the difference. And knowing yourself and knowing your value, knowing your self-worth. And everybody deserves peace, love, and happiness within themselves first. When you find it, never let it go. And if they worthy, let them come in. Let them come in. Let them be a part of the let them come to the party. But don't come to the party if you have not received an invitation. If you have not appeared like you care about me, that you're interested in me, you ain't come for me the right way. I know what's the right way for Levi, right?
Right.
So
That's
anyway,
right.
those of you, I hope if you appreciated this conversation between Levine and myself, that you will hit the like button, that you will comment, even subscribe. We are building something here that is well needed. I have a precious relationship with my daughter, and I have a precious relationship with my children, but this is the firstborn right here. This is my best friend. We have developed this relationship, and we want to share it with you so you can look. Change is coming, and change is coming now, and we are giving you an outlook, hopefully, that makes sense. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, I love it. So you heard what he said. Please like, share, and subscribe. We are on Podbean. We are on, so look for Verbal Mirrors, reflectingunderstanding.podbean.com. And we are also on Facebook. No, not Facebook. Well, we're on Facebook too. Well, just look for us. Verbal Mirrors, Reflecting Understanding podcast, right? And so this is Two Cancers, One Truth. We're going to be doing our series just talking about these things. We want to reach men and women, and we want to talk about these subjects. For me as a woman, I particularly wanted it to be so women can see what it's like to have a relationship with your father, to be able to have him as your best friend, but also to be able to talk about various topics and not just hear from me, but hear from a male perspective who just happens to be a Cancer as well. Cancer gang gang. So we appreciate you. And until next time, we'll see you. Bye. As we wrap up another episode of Verbal Mirrors Reflecting Understanding, we encourage you to carry the reflection sparked here into your daily interactions. Let the echoes of diverse perspective guide your journey towards greater empathy and connection. Thank you for being a part of our dialogue. Until next time, may your mirrors of understanding continue to reflect a world filled with compassion and unity.